What a week last week. We were able to make very good entries and very good money last week, because last week was an interest rate cut, that a volatile week that we had gone through. And also it was the week where the Fed had a meeting. That meeting has changed totally the perspective and sentiment of the market. Hello traders, welcome to Disciplined Trader Autonomy, where we analyze and we see the anticipation of the market for the next week above or in front of us. If you are new here, please try to subscribe, hit the bell icon, and be part of the community whereby we share and we help each other grow in this financial security market. DXY were able to make some good shift last week as we expected it to do, because last week we did the analysis and we anticipated the move that we are going to have a sell from here, but we had anticipated that it's going to make a correction to the upside. We were wrong about it, but it went out immediately, breaking the low that we anticipated last week, which is this low that we have to break below the 97 below that. But however, the market were able to break below and sweeping liquidity below this low, swing low, and then it went back out. After sweeping the low, it went up again. Why did this happen? This happened because of the news, because of the conference that the Fed had. And if you know, Powell talked about how he was anticipating the cut wasn't because of the economy was weak, but he's seeing the economy is still strong and the dollar is still strong. That's why things shifted and the market started shifting to the upside. Now market went up like that. Now it is here. What is next? We are expecting the market to have a small pullback before we can see another move to the upside, where I'm aiming to 98.3 as it is my target for the next week. And this eventually, it's just above this high before we can sweep to the downside. This is the expectation of the next week. If you are still in losses and you still make losses in the market, this is because you don't know how to do proper analysis, or either you're risking too much, you're risking more than your account, you're making more mistakes than you're supposed to be making, because you can't be making losses when you are following some good traders. You have to have a mentor that you follow. Now we go to our forex market. We start with Euro USD. Euro USD, last time we expected it to make a small pullback. We were wrong about it, but it actually did the small pullback. It didn't do that kind of pullback, a small pullback. If you can see here, it was really clear that we had a pullback, smaller pullback around this area before it went up like that. Then this is the pullback, and then it went breaking above this high, then boom, came back down below our target. Now the target was actually this high, the all-time high here. You can see it has already made a structure break to the upside. Now we came back here. What is next, Mr. Hamis? What we are expecting is to see a small corrective structure to the upside before we can see any move to the downside. My target is being bearish in Euro USD. Pound USD. Pound USD, this is very interesting, one of a kind. Our main target was to hit 137 and exactly went up to 137 psychological level around here. There exactly. Let us say that is 137, exactly where we wanted it to reach. It reached there, swept the liquidity above there. Now the market is coming back to the downside. Usually this is very good. We anticipated it and we expected that move to happen. We started anticipation of the move from this low, then the correction, and then high. We say correction and then high. We anticipated another small pullback, which did not happen. and then boom to the upside, and now we are seeing this move to the downside. What is next from these? We are expecting the market to make a small corrective structure before we can see another move to the downside. Someone with a very good sharp eye would see something forming like head and shoulder. You can see this is a shoulder, this is a head, and we are anticipating and we are waiting for another shoulder to form in this. The left shoulder is already formed to form a right shoulder for us to go to the projections of the shoulder, which is actually this box here. This is where we are expecting the market to move to. If you don't know how to trade, or you don't know why you are losing every time and you're blowing your account, please try to make a community. Follow a community. If you don't have a community, follow me. I'm already on Instagram. You'll find my Instagram down below in the bio. Be part of my community. I will share everything with you in the community. And most importantly, do not trade without a stop loss. That is number one. Number two, do not over leverage your account. Do not oversize the lot size of your account. If you have an account of $100, why would you put a lot size of 0.1, which is not eventually logical or rational? You're supposed to be rational about your account. Account size is supposed to move smoothly, grow your account smoothly. If you have that $100 and you have a discipline and persistence for 6 months, that account could grow up to something like $3,000 if you really use a good risk reward ratio. Can that happen? Yes, many people did it. A lot of people did that before you, and they successfully did it because they were doing it with a discipline, not just trading for a purpose of gambling. Because if you are here trading like a gambler, then you are in the wrong place. We actually trade and we make trading as our business. We don't want to make losses. Aussie dollar was a fantastic one to us last week, and it has reached to where we wanted it to reach. What happened? We anticipated this up, corrective structure, up, corrective structure, up. Then now we had a reversal. What is happening? We might see another pullback, and then we are going down. It's also forming something like a head and shoulder. If you can see, most of our trades are actually, eventually we are waiting for another corrective structure. This small corrective structure is going to be our right shoulder before we can go to the downside. The same thing is going to happen with NZD USD, which is very beautifully made a very good move to the downside. For those who were trading with me, you would see that this was actually a divergent RSI divergent that had happened on 4-hour and 1-hour time frame that led to this fall. And for me, I wanted it to break this high, which has already happened. See, we broke this high here. This high, we broke this high and made liquidity sweep. Last week, it was all the sweeps. And by the way, a lot of people lost money last week because of their irrational trading. A lot of people, if you can see on TikTok and other platforms, people were really, during the interest rate cut, they made a lot of mistakes that end up blowing their account. What is next then? What we are waiting for is a small pullback to the upside here, because this move is already a big move, and before that we come back to this low. This is my eventually the target. I'm targeting this. This is my target, this low here. And a break below this low, we shall see by the next week what we shall do. But the main aim is corrective structure to the upside, then sell. USD JPY. This is still inside this corrective structure that actually came and break below this liquidity. and then swept the liquidity and went back up to the upside. What is next now? We are waiting for another corrective structure here, very clean one for me to buy it up to this swing high, which is the high of the channel. This is my target area for the next week. If there is anything that is not clear, please make it in the comment. I will answer you at any time when I see the comment. USD CHF. This is one of my best trade that I eventually talked about it last time, that we need to break below this low, and then I'm aiming. My aim, I'm a buyer. I'm a complete buyer. We anticipated this move that we are going to break below, and then the market has to move to the upside. Whereas the target at least at 81,727. 81,727. That's where I am going. This is my big aim. I'm already in this trade. I'm a buyer. I've already bought this to the upside. What is next for people who are actually in with me? Move your stop loss to the break even and let the trade unfold. For those who are new, who have not yet entered this trade, what are you going to do? Wait for a pullback, smaller pullback, before you can buy it to the upside. Our target is 81,727. 81,727. That's where we are actually anticipating the move to go. USD card, this is not my favorite one. I'm actually not going to trade this. I'm not seeing it as a potential trade because there is nothing clear I'm seeing here. Because also Canadian, also they had interest rate cut last week. USD had interest rate cut last week. That's why you see the move did not make any kind of clear direction. We had this corrective structure move to the downside, and then now we are making another pull to the upside. What is next here for those who wants to trade it? Wait for a break below this low or a break above this low for you to make an entry. So this is the low here. I want to see a clear move below this low or above this high for me to have a clear reason for me to buy or to sell. So in either way, if it breaks above this retest, then I'm a buyer. And in case it didn't happen that way and it came below this low, went down, break, retest, then I'm a seller at the same time. So let us see how it will unfold, but this is not one of my trades. I didn't like it, I don't like it, and I don't want it. JPY is one of my best trade. GBP JPY, it's under my observation and under my watch list for the week. What I'm waiting for, or how did it move? Actually, we anticipated the move, that up, corrective structure, another up, now it went down. What are you expecting? I'm expecting a smaller upside before we can see any move to the downside. The target is actually very clear. We're targeting below up to 95. 195 is where I'm expecting the move to go to. I'm expecting the move to come up to this zone. This is a long-term trade for my traders who are trading with me. I've already shared with them this. Why do I want this pullback? Because already the move, it's actually, if you can see also, we are waiting for something like a head and shoulder around this area. Then we can also sell it to the downside. Euro pound, I was wrong about it. I wanted to sell it, but eventually the structure has changed completely to the upside. So what is next? I wanted to make a corrective structure before I can look for another buy to the upside. We are buying our main target. We are going to sweep this high and this high. This is where we are going to. The main aim to sweep this high and that high. If you want any clarification, come to my Telegram me. I will share with you my all analysis for the week. Cryptocurrency. This is our last cryptocurrency. Bitcoin. Bitcoin, we expected it to move. We are a buyer in cryptocurrency, if you can see, but there is something that you need to understand about the Bitcoin. Bitcoin is actually bullish, but the impulsive is not that good. There is no any impulsive move here. The correction is too much. I wanted the correction to continue moving to the downside to buy low for me to execute another buy. So we can buy at 1200, at least 1200 for me to buy to the upside. If you are not if you don't see it clear, you look for another one like USD CHF is really ready for the buy, and also you can look for the pound USD is also good for sell. So we wait for the formation of the head and shoulder on this one. But Bitcoin right now, it's really not ready for any kind of potential of buy and now, because it's really zigzag and choppy. Let us see how it will move next week. But the target is to buy from 1200 or 12,000. That's where I will start buying. The minerals. Gold, we start with gold. Gold was fantastic. Yeah, last week we had a very fantastic move in gold. We are really bullish in gold. Gold actually did a very bold move to the upside that nobody can deny it. Really moving very fantastic. If you can remember last time, I made a very measured move about this move, that we're supposed to make another move like this around that area. Let us see if it is really accomplish the move. We are almost something like 80% almost to the target of 3,800. So what is next here? Let us zoom so that we can see what is next for the next week. We are still bullish in gold. Gold is super bullish. There is nothing can stop gold from moving. All the fundamental and the geopolitical and technical are all moving to the upside. What I wanted, just a small pullback, then boom, another buy. Where's the target? I'm targeting 3,750. Where I will put my main target. Breaking the high and making a new high. I'm expecting we shall make a new high above the high of the Fed, which is 3,708. That the high we made last week. So this week our target high is 3,750, or it can go up to 3,800, possible, but let us stick with our high, because this is exactly where we're supposed to move next. Silver did very well last week too, and it's really fantastic that we had this move last week. What is next now after this strong pullback and then move to the upside during the the interest rate? We are, for me, I'm anticipating another small pullback before we can move to the upside to 45. Something around 45 there. That is where I'm going to stop to take my profit, around 45 here. We have finished our trading analysis for the week. Thank you so much for following me to the end, and see you next week.